Hello, hello, everyone. Good evening. I did pow a bit of a tricksy and I turned her second hide so that we might be able to see her when she's in it. I mean, the hide is exactly the same size that she is, so her butt usually hangs out anyways. But I'm gonna enjoy some prime tortoise shell viewing right now. Story Stitcher, welcome. Hello, hello. I'm so glad you could stay up late and join us. I mean, it is Friday, it isn't a school night. Or a work night, or I meant that in the general sense, not a comment on how old you were. Anyway, that was a silly statement. Not yeah. Anyways, hi. Story Stitcher community member has been cranking out the knits lately. Really cool. If you guys are in the Discord, go check them out. Just finished a Tolsta tea, which looks amazing. Tolsta tea is definitely on my wish list of stuff to make. I have the yarn set aside for it. I just have, 407 things to finish first. Story Stitcher says they love the Tolsta tea, have plans for 2 to 3 more, and there's a Tolsta tank coming out this summer. Well, that's excellent because the pattern is it's very classic. Like, it's very simple. There's those kind of structural elements that I really enjoy, but it just looks like easy breezy, and it looked great on you, honestly. So I very impressed, and it just looks it just looks like something really nice and light and easy to wear, which, as we know, is what I'm going for. Which, talking about projects that I want to make, kind of leads us into this evening's main activity, which is project planning for April. So if you are a project planner, or if you are a project pantser, as in you fly by the seat of your pants, I hope you will enjoy this evening's stream. I've got some journaling supplies out on my desk. I've got my Notion pulled up. We're gonna talk through my plans for April here. So definitely grab a project, grab something to work on, grab something to drink, grab a buddy. Story Stitcher says, I like the wide neck. I hate when fabric touches my neck. So you currently base everything off of the Tolsta. Yes. Yeah, I get that. Like, trying to figure out what works for you in terms of where the neck sits can be a huge game changer. Because I like a wide neck, but not too wide, because if it gets into like boat neck territory, then I start feeling uncomfortable. But if it's really too high of a crew neck, then that's not comfortable either. So project plans. And if you guys plan your own projects, let me know in the chat. I'd love to know kind of like your method, your process, and how you tackle this subject. So I've been like really into cross stitch lately. But that's new as of a couple months, as of probably just about the last month, I'd say the last month and a half. And I so all of my project plans that I made for the season and for the year were all knitting based, and I don't really do a lot of knitting at the moment, so I kind of need to reevaluate and make some new plans. Toot says they make a queue and stick to the queue religiously. Yes. Toot is incredibly structured and organized with their cross stitching. It makes it a lot easier for me because I can just go and look at their queue and make sure everything's kitted up, and I don't have to be like, which one are you doing next? Or going on vibes is not a thing Toot does with crafting. It is with me, which is why I have as many whips as I do. I'm just gonna switch us over here. So I'm like a half analog, half digital person when it comes to planning. I like keeping a physical analog crafting log as kind of like a memory almost of the projects that I've done. I add pictures to it. It's a nice physical book that I can put on my shelf and then look back at the things that I've made and um, just kind of what I was doing in different seasons of my life because it's all chronological by where the pages are. Um, but I also like using digital tools, especially Notion, to organize what's upcoming, what I'm working on currently, and what's upcoming. Um, because it's easier to move things around and change things when you do digital rather than when you're writing things down. Because when you're writing things down, if you have to change something, you have to like white it out or cover it up or erase it, and there's a lot more difficulty in changing things around. So this is my crafting log. I just started this at the beginning of the year. And at the beginning of the year, I had the idea that in order to kind of take some of the pressure off of myself, and in terms of strict deadlines, and I want to finish this by this month and this by this month and dates and that kind of thing, I had the idea that I was going to go in terms of seasons. Because that's a little bit more seasons. I was using the equinoxes and the solstices as the halfway points in a season, not as the beginning or the end of a season. So what season I'm currently in is a little bit going on vibes, but I think it was too many vibes for me. Too many of vibes. Story Trisha says, I have my Make 9, which are all the bigger projects I have the yarn for. Try to do one each month with 3 exceptions. After my project for that month, I can do whatever. I also try to finish one lingering whip parallel to my project for the month. I like to bounce between 2 projects with different needle sizes, and if I have a lace pattern, I like to have a plain project in case I don't feel like thinking. Yeah, I'm much the same in that I like having different types of things on the go. If I have too much of the same thing, there was one point where I was working on like 3 different projects that were all Hobby Amigo on 4.5 millimeter needles, and it was all stockinette. I was just like, I have to finish one of these because this is too much Hobby Amigo on 4.5 millimeter needles and just stockinette. So my original thought was I'm gonna go by the seasons. It's not really working for me anymore. Because, and I was doing that in my personal planner as well, like my day-to-day planner, which I'm not going to show you guys because I haven't gone through it and made sure that I've covered up all of the sensitive information because I use it to mark down like numbers and phone numbers and cryptic information like Toot's legal name and things like that. So, I also haven't filled out measurements in this book yet. So, these first few ones are carryovers from like last year that I started last year. So getting into kind of the new stuff. So I started the year with Imbolc, which the start of the year is really Samhain, but I started it in the calendar year. So the first celebration was Imbolc. So what I did was I set up, this is my list of all of my whips. This is the things that were started during the season, finished during the season, and frogged during the season. So I like having the whip list, and I like having the starters finished frogged. And then I have plans and sketches that I left space for. And sketches were just like if I was designing something, if I needed to like jot something down quickly. And then plans would be my goals for that season. So this was Imbolc, which was a pretty busy season for me in terms of starts and finishes. And then flipping over to... So Ostara was up next, and I did the same kind of setup: whips, starts, finishes, frog. And as you can see, I haven't used the plans or the sketches section at all so far. Um, and I mean, we won't really be into Beltane for another couple weeks, but I don't anticipate using these two sections. Story Teacher says, I have one pretty planner for knitting, one calendar you don't really use. Yep, got that. And one notebook for knitting. Yep. Yeah, I was using a pre-printed planner for my personal stuff, and that was working for me for a while until it stopped working for me. I think it's the ADHD. Things just don't work for me all the time, and I need to have some aspect of novelty. Which is okay. Which is why I kind of always come back to bullet journaling, because I can always change something without changing the entire system. So I did a spread for in bulk, which covered like January into February, and then Ostara, which covered like March into May, and then Beltane would be like, which covered March into April, and then Beltane would be like April into the end of May, that kind of thing. Just vagueness. I don't think that's going to work for me anymore. I think I need to go back to doing a monthly spread. For one thing, everybody else in the world uses monthly markers for their goals and stuff. So if I'm participating in a knit along or a stitch along or a challenge or something, those are going to be set up by month, not by season. So it's harder. I don't have to do that translating. And also, doing this kind of roundup of projects, I find really super helpful for me, actually. Just kind of sit down and figure out what I'm doing. And I think doing that 12 times a year instead of 8 times a year is just going to help me stay a little bit better coordinated. You can see that I haven't even really, like, I have 3 new starts, 1 finish, and 1 frogged for Ostara so far. So I haven't really even been keeping up with this because it's just been difficult. So what I'd like to do today is reference what's going on in here, set up an April spread with you guys, and then go over to my Notion, which you can actually see on the screen next to Pow. Hi, Pow. Pow's coming for us. Well, thank you for the hydrate, Toot. I'll take another sip there. I really hope that was just Pow brushing against the camera and not Pow trying to take out the camera. We'll find out, I'm sure. What was I saying? I got distracted by Pow. So yeah, so let's look at my physical crafting log. Let's take a look at my Notion, which you can see on screen next to Pow. That's where I was. Yeah, just make some project plans. Yes, I have gotten distracted quite a few times. The worst part is the squirrel distraction counter also distracts me, so it's always like a double squirrel. Story Stitcher says, I like months because your family's birthdays are at the very end or the beginning of a month. Make along. And it takes you about 4 weeks to make a sweater, so you can block out a month for a present, sweater, or make along, and the gaps in between can be filled with little distractions. That's a great system. See, the problem is my entire life is one big distraction. And also it takes me much longer than 4 weeks to knit a sweater for myself. Pyro, welcome in. Hi, Pyro. Good, good. How are you doing today? We are just about to make some plans for April. In my notebook here. You're good? Good, good. So I can't just write a list of plans. Hi, Nicole. Welcome. So glad you could join us. I'm setting up my craft log for April. I'm a little bit late because I hadn't quite decided to do a craft log for April just yet. So, yeah. Work today was what you called F off Friday. All right. Well, that's good. As long as that means like you didn't do any work and not that the day itself can go F off. So what I can't just write stuff. That's not me. You saw my other spreads. They have to be slightly cute. So far in this book, I've been doing kind of like what I call sticker book spreads, where I pick a sticker book and then use that to create kind of a really basic spread around. My camera apparently is having some issues. I think it's okay now. Pyro says nothing to do to the point where the welders, yourself included, were just sweeping and sitting around for 9 hours. Oh no. Like, that's good in that you didn't have to do any actual work, but at the same time, that's a pretty boring way to spend 9 hours. So I grabbed a bunch of my Michael's Creatology sticker books. When I say sticker books, I don't always use planning stickers. Sometimes I do. Oh, you're here from the Cross Stitch Discord. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm really happy you could come and join us. I was like really uncertain about posting that because I just joined the Cross Stitch Discord like a few days ago and I'm still really new and I don't want to just feel like I just joined in order to promote myself. But anyways, I'm glad you could come and hang out. Like, as you could see, this one was from a very expensive, like the sticker book that these came from was like $25-$30. These sticker books are $1.50. So I have many of them. Yes, Pyro, I'm on YouTube as well. I'm not just talking to no one. Nicole is actually the voice in my head. If you look on the screen, you should be able to see both chats at the same time, but I know it's not always super visible depending on how big you have me up on the screen or whatever. So yeah. So let's just pick. I've got Poolside, Pops and More, Under the Canopy, Shark Adventure, Safari So Good, Under the Sea, Mermaid Princess, which, as you can tell, is totally my vibe. And then I have more. They're over here. I got stuck. Pirate Pets, or Fantastic Luau. What kind of vibe do I want for April? Nicole says they've only been on the Cross Stitch Discord a month or so. Yeah, like it kind of depends how fast and how much chatting you do, because like I'm socially awkward, but at the same time I really want to talk because Cross Stitch is my new hyper focus. All right, Pyro, good luck with the enemies there. Enjoy your lurk. Thanks so much for dropping in. I super appreciate it. Because like I really want to talk about cross stitch because cross stitch is kind of like my new thing, but also like I don't want to bother people, but but at the same time everyone is in the cross stitch Discord because they really want to talk about cross stitch, so there's that. And I want to go for the Shark Adventure one. Cute. There's crabs. Okay, now let's go for Shark Adventure. I hope you guys can see the stickers okay. So what I usually do is pick a couple of the bigger. The reason I like these sticker books for doing spreads is because they come with bigger stickers like this, but then also smaller stickers that you can use to just decorate around, like these ones. Moon, welcome in, welcome in. I'm so glad you could join us. We're talking about project planning today. And I was talking about how doing seasonal planning wasn't really working for me anymore. So I'm setting up an April crafting spread in my journal. And then we're going to dive into my Notion a little bit and do some project planning. So I love these little crab guys. I think I'm just going to do the 2 sections whips and started finished frogs. So let's put Mr. Crab here. And then he has little like crab buddies with mustaches. Oh no, the crab buddy with mustache is ripping. He is crabby. He doesn't want to come up. Okay, let's try and get the other one. There, crab gang. Have any other crabs? It's the same crab, just smaller. Nope. And because I do most of I fill up most of this with writing because I have so many whips. I don't do a ton of decoration. I usually just do like a little bit in the top for a header and then a little bit in the bottom corners. So I'm just going to have a couple of sharks down here. And then for the frogs over here, not frogs, started finished frog. So finished, I'm going to use this treasure chest. Just put it about in the middle there. Started. Let's do some jellyfish. Do I have another color of jelly? I do. And then for frogged, I have some skull and crossbones, which will be perfect. Okay, I've got these little mustaches. Let me see if I can push that up so you guys can see. Should I put a mustache on one of my skulls? Oh no, that's comically too large. What do you think? Oh, stick it down for now. That's a yes from Toot on the comically large mustache. But like I was saying, one of the reasons that I like these little sticker books. So basically, there's 6 pages, but it's 3 pages that repeat, so you get a lot of the same stickers. And then they come with these little tiny stickers that you can use to just like decorate, mark off, use as bullet points. Okay, So I think that's actually all the decoration. I'm going to go for that. Now, when I do my... Or should we do another shark down here? Now, when I do my big planner, not my big planner, my daily planner, I will, I'll do the same theme. So I keep the theme, the monthly theme, the same between the two. Oh, I didn't even notice there's this shark with like a pirate shirt on. We need to put him in somewhere. So I keep the theme between the two, the same between the two books, just to give myself some consistency. This boy needs to move. And these stickers from Michael's, I mean, you kind of get what you pay for $1.25. So they do come up fairly easily. Shark. Squirrel shark. Here's our shorts. Okay. Next thing I do, pull out the Crayola Super Tips. I'm glad you like it, Moon. And I got the big box of these ages ago, and I just keep them all in here because it's easier than the big box. And then I just kind of pick some vaguely appropriate colors. Blue. Green. And then an orange. Yeah, I think I like that. I try not to think too hard about my lettering because then I just won't finish it. Story Stitcher says you cannot imagine how badly you wanted Crayola markers when you were younger. Are they not commonly available where you are? I don't think I had Crayola markers either. I think I had like off-brand markers. I'm going to do the title in green because green is my favorite. Oh, they're not a thing in Europe at all? Wow. I didn't realize that. So tip, if you are about to letter a title, it's never a bad idea to write it out on a separate piece of paper so that you make sure you're spelling it right. Because I definitely just had a moment where I was like, how do you spell April? But yeah, I can imagine if you don't have access to them and everyone online and on TV and stuff is just saying that they want this brand, this brand, this brand. I kind of get that. Like, I'm in Canada, which is basically America light, but we don't get everything that America gets. But we get American television with American commercials for things that we don't get. Okay, I like that. Pretty simple. So over here we have if you guys are on Twitch, Toot has just started a prediction. So a prediction basically means that we are going to give our tortoise pal a little bit of a treat. And you can choose if you think that she is going to go for the melon first or the banana first. She's got melon and banana. So if you are on YouTube, you can definitely join in. You can put your guess in chat now, melon or banana. We're going to feed her in about half an hour. Yeah, that's tonight's prediction. Melon or banana. Story Sister says, it was very frustrating when everyone was like, I love these super cheap markers and they cost way too much to import. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that being frustrated. Because like you can get Crayola at the dollar store here. I think it's much the same with I mean, my favorite brand of yarn is dollar store yarn down home, which is the same country but different province. Also, American YouTubers getting sponsored by, for example, HelloFresh. Yeah, but the coupon code is only for the USA. What always is so odd to me is when YouTubers get sponsored by, say, HelloFresh. And HelloFresh isn't available in their country. But you don't have to worry about YouTube, HelloFresh with today's stream sponsor. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that would have been a great segue, but I don't have any sponsors. All right, Nicole has put in a vote for banana. Moon, I think, is also voting for banana. Okay. So that's it. That's all I do for a spread. It's really simple. I mean, that took me like, what, 10 minutes? And that was with talking to you guys. If you are having trouble with your stickers, you can always use like a glue stick or something to just give them a little bit of extra stick. Like this one, I think I moved around too much and the border's just coming up. Yeah, I kind of love my little mustache man. All right, so now I need to populate it. So for that, let's take a look at my Notion. If you're not familiar with Notion, thanks to today's stream sponsor, Notion. No, I wish I was sponsored by Notion. I have no sponsors, once again. I just am a big fan. So I keep a knitting log and a stitching log in Notion. I also keep my like recurring daily tasks and my medical info in Notion, but I'm not going to be showing you guys that today. So I've got all my projects here. So right now I've only got one active knitting project and 11 hibernating projects. Which was actually less than I thought it was. Honestly, I thought I had more. So I think I'm gonna, but I like copying that out into the monthly spread, just to kind of keep myself accountable and also so I can add notes and things like that. And this is, like I said, this is a record of what was going on. So like this is going to change as soon as I finish one of these projects. They're going to move into finished or something like that. So I'm not gonna have a snapshot of what was going on at, for example, in April. but this is that snapshot. So I'm just going to start from the bottom and start writing out my hibernating whips. And if you have any questions about any of my projects that you see on the screen, I'm happy to talk about them. If there's anything that's particularly interesting. And this is just knitting. I'll get to cross stitch in a second. I keep that separate. I was keeping them on the same, but they've got just wildly different information points that I need. So I split them up into 2 different databases. Which also helps kind of with the guilt over having so many unfinished knitting whips when all I want to do is cross stitch if I don't open the knitting log. Thank you for the hydrate, Toot. I hope you guys are all hydrating with me. I've got some ginger ale and then my new favorite drink. So you all know that I love my emotional support Pepsis. But we got lime Pepsi Zero and wild cherry Pepsi Zero. And when you combine those two, you get a cherry limeade Diet Pepsis. And it is my new favorite thing to drink. I'm adding 2 bullets there for something for the cross stitch whips. And then up at the top, I like to put my active whips or like my focus whips a little bit bigger. So it's a snapshot in time, knowing what I was working on. So I'm just going to do a little bit of fancy footwork there. So that's my beautiful day, which is the only Mr. Rogers cardigan I have on the needles at the moment. We'll get more into that later. So then let's hop over to my stitching log and we'll look at my projects here. So I have 4 cross stitch projects right now. My 2 hibernating whips are Celtic Goddess and the Spooktacular Sampler. I've lost the ability to write in a straight line. This page is dotted. I don't know how well you can see that, but like there's actual lines on the page. I just apparently can't use them. And then, so we're going to do my 2 focus whips, which are Irie and the Frog Skilly. Right. How is the frog skelly going? I haven't made that much progress on it lately. I've been working on Kyrie and Sora, but I have made a little bit of progress since last that I showed you guys. Let me show you guys now. I've got my 2 cross stitch focus whips out here. So this is the frog skeleton. I have completely filled in like this lower section of their body. So everything that fit in the frame has been outlined. And I'm just filling in the blocks of color. The skeleton is going to be done in glow in the dark. So that's exciting. So yeah, there's my little guy. Little guy. Yeah, the color pooling so far has worked out really nicely. And again, Toot had the idea to use this variegated, the DMC variations in Purple Pansy for this. I love it. But yeah, I haven't worked on this in the last couple of days, so no real progress. And yes, I am saying progress. You heard me correctly. That would be progress on a frog. So yeah, I've been... I knew I was going to get banned from Toot. The other one I've been working on is my Kyrie and Sora piece. And this is a gift for a friend. I don't really have a deadline on it. I mean, maybe for their birthday. I don't know. But I'm really close to finishing this, like the top of the tree here. And I just want to see it finished. Like, it looks so good. And like, I feel like I've been looking at it too close because I was really stressing out about this section here. I felt like the Ada was showing through too much, but like once you put it a few feet away, you can't even tell. Nicole asks, is the glow in the dark floss tough to work with? Toot actually just finished a huge project with glow in the dark floss. I haven't actually worked with it yet. But she did find it was very splitty and short lengths are better, I believe, but I'll let if Toot has any further thoughts. It was funny because they looked up tips on how to do the glow in the dark floss, and it was loop start, short lengths, and Toot was like, no, I don't think I'll do either of those things. So yeah, so this is how far. So I only have one more color to finish filling in this top here, and then there's like a few little browns that go around the fruit. And then I'm going to move the frame over and get like the other half of the top. And then, yeah, so I'm really happy with how this is coming out. This is the biggest piece I had ever attempted. I have since started something that's even bigger, but I'm really pleased with myself for giving it a shot. Oh, but glow in the dark floss, Toot says it can be tough to work with. They recommend to use shorter lengths, and it does tangle and split easier, but it really wasn't that bad. You get used to it super easy. Don't be like me. Use the shorter lengths. And the Story Sister says, I need 3 more rows on my socks to start at the heel, but you're tired, so you're going to do the responsible thing and go to sleep. Good. Take easy, also important. We stand a self-care queen. So yeah, have a good night. I'm so glad you were able to drop by and spend some time with us. And have a good sleep. And definitely show us pictures of the socks tomorrow in the Discord. Can't wait to see them. And Nicole says, good to know. Thanks, Toot. I haven't used anything other than the regular DMC. And Toot says, happy to help. So yeah, I am excited to get to the glow in the dark section of the frog. And like I can switch over to glow in the dark whenever I want. It's just right now I'm working on Kyrie and Sora, which I'm stitching Danish style. And because I'm working with the variegated, I have to do that English style. I can't remember the difference between the two, except I knit English and I cross stitch Danish. That's how I remember. I do the opposite. So So when I get tired of doing one, I'll switch over to the other because it's a different technique, um, which is why I like having multiple whips on the go. Okay, so this is what I've got going on. I've got two focus whips, and I am participating in Whip Go, which is a cross stitch community challenge thing. So my goal is to get 2,200 stitches on the frog skelly done and 2,500 stitches on Kyrie and Sora done. I think I'm already at like 1,500 on Kyrie and Sora, so I'm probably going to hit those goals well before the end of the month. And then I might continue working on those pieces, or I might switch back to my other ones. We'll see. We're going on vibes for that, but if I could get the frog skelly done this month, that would be amazing. And then knitting, I'm just not feeling it. Which is so weird for me because knitting has been my main hobby for so long. But, crafting is cyclical. I'm trying to ride the waves. I know I'll come back to it, so I'm not like, okay, I'm getting rid of all of my supplies and I'm never knitting again. Like, I know I'm going to get back to it. Especially because the things that I have on the needles, I really want to make. The things that I have planned for the yarn I have in stash, I really want to make. I'm just not feeling like working on them right now, and that's okay. And I'm trying not to feel guilty about that. The thing about knitting is that it does take up a lot more physical space than cross stitch. In terms of, like, for a cross stitch project, you can fit it in a Ziploc bag generally. But for a knitting project, you kind of need like a plastic tote. So I'm trying not to let that stress me out too much. Okay. All right. So beautiful day. Let's talk about beautiful day for a second. So I'm going to switch back over to Notion and show you guys some stuff. So if you are curious about Notion, I might do a Notion tour video on my channel. Also, I am going to have a version of this stitching log available for sale in the Etsy store. So if you are not a Notion person, or if you're new to Notion, it's going to be super easy to set up. You can get going right away. I actually had Toot test it. Toot is not a Notion user, and was able to get it up and running. And anytime they had a question, I put it into the tutorial, the tutorial, if you will. That was her joke. I'm sorry, I stole it. Toot just threw up the links to the link tree. So yeah, if you do want to check out the Etsy, shutting down. If you do want to check out the Etsy, I just posted 4 new cross stitch patterns today. So if you can go check those out, I still have to do a shop update announcement everywhere. So this is probably the first you're hearing of it, but I did post 4 new patterns today. My God, 4 new patterns in the Etsy shop if you want to go check those out. I'm up to 11 cross stitch patterns in the Etsy store. I'm like, that blows my mind. That seems like so many. And I have so many stitch samples of them too, which getting stitch samples is always the hardest part, right? What was I saying? Notion. We're going back to Notion. Let's take a look at my knitting log here. So these are all my whips. I've got 12 whips. I'm just gonna close this. I need some more space for my mouse here. So I've got 12 whips. And the Beautiful Day cardigan. So each of my little cards here, I have all of the information as to like what category they are, if they're for any specific project or anything like that. The yardage. I've got a completion percentage, which I'm still working out the kinks on how to really get that to auto update for knitting. But this is the sweater that I'm working on. It's a recreation of the one of Mr. Rogers' original cardigans. And if you didn't know, his mother actually made most of his cardigans for him that he had on the show. So most of them are handmade already. Someone went through and created screen accurate recreations of them and sized them for multiple sizes. I have the book. I absolutely adore the book. So this is the one I'm working on right now, The Beautiful Day. I really want a Mr. Rogers cardigan. Like I want one for myself. So I'm wondering if, and I'm in this like knitting slump, knitting funk. I have no knitting mojo anymore. So what I'm wondering is if I was to go back over here to my queue, let's just close this. As you can see, I have another Mr. Rogers cardigan queued. This is the Beginnings cardigan, which has this striping detail on the shoulders. It's a raglan construction, and it's got this wonderful folded collar. And you've probably this is probably the sweater that you recognize. Like this is the one you think of when you think of Mr. Rogers. So I've got that one in queue, and then I've also got the Nurture cardigan in queue, which is another one. I love this like folded. It's not quite a shawl collar, but it's like a little bit thicker. It's got a little bit more structure to it, and then a very narrow cable on either side here. So I had the thought today, I wonder if casting on one of these other two might kind of kickstart my knitting mojo, because I'm not super far on the Beautiful Day at the moment. I do have the yarn for both of them, and it's yarn that I'm really excited to try working with because I've never worked with it before, especially this one. It's an Ice Yarns acrylic alpaca blend, and it's in this lovely like heathered gray. So I'm not sure because I'm not feeling super knitting mojo. I'm not feeling super like I must cast on all the things, which I usually do. So I'm just contemplating if I want to start a new knitting project when I'm not really feeling the knitting mojo. Thank you for the hydrate too. So this is what I've gotten done so far. This is the back of Beautiful Day. So I've done about 10 inches of the back. It's just really straightforward rib, 10 inches. And like, I don't feel like this is a ton. Like, I don't feel it's not. That's the thing. None of my knitting whips are close enough to being finished that I can just be like, okay, if I just push through, I'll be able to finish this. Like, they're all sitting at about 10-15% complete. So that's another issue that I have. Like, there's just nothing super calling my name. The more I think about it, the more maybe doing that new cast on might be good. I don't know. This is Hobby Fluffy Day. And as you can see, it's got a little bit of a halo. So it is a 100% acrylic yarn, but it's designed to look like a mohair held double with another yarn. So it's got that effect without the itchiness factor of the mohair. Nicole says that's a beautiful color. Thank you. I know, I love it. Green is my favorite color. I have so many shades of green, everything, but I love this like dusty jade. It's so good. So we'll see, because I am super into my stitching era. Just showing you guys here. So this is, I'll just show you my stitching log a little bit. As you can see, I have my frog buddy up the top. I have my frog buddy up at the top. I've got my priority list. I've got my click for dopamine button, which is where I add new projects. I click it and it gives me dopamine. And then, so these are my active whips, the Kyrie and Sora that I showed off. So you can see like the tree itself is actually not a huge part of the pattern. It just feels really big. And then my frog skelly. And then, yes, the other two are this Celtic goddess piece. And I use this space to put in all my subs because I subbed all the colors out. Kasha, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So glad you could join us. We're just chatting a little bit about my project plans for April and how I keep myself organized. My other hibernating whip is the Spooktacular sampler, which is this really cool kind of primitive sampler style one. So all I've done for this one so far is the two little people in the house. So I really want to get to the letters and stuff. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to use a little bit of glow in the dark on this one too, just for the hocus pocus. The words hocus and pocus, I'm doing the signs in like a dark brown. And then the words hocus pocus will be in glow in the dark. Primitive is such an interesting choice of words. I mean, that's what the style is called. It's like the Quaker, vintage, Victorian, prairie schooler type. It's primitive. That's the name of the title. So while we pondered this, it is time. It's time. Tasha, you got here just in time. If you would like to drop your guess in chat as to whether Pow will go for melon first or banana first in our treat eat. We've got live footage from the tortoise cam here. I believe Nicole said you were going for banana. Taking out the crocodile friend. All right. So it looks like banana is the fan favorite. Oh, Kasha going for melon. All right. Let's see, ma'am. We're about to have a guest over here on the other camera as well. Hello, Binks. All right, so we have banana on the right and melon on the left. Back to our starting positions there. Oh, that's looking like a pretty direct line to the banana. Is she faking us out? It's going to be close. Yeah. Oh. Banana? A sneef? Oh. It's not over until she chomps. There we go. There we have the chomp. Oh no. Okay, well I have to get it like well seasoned with dirt. All right, banana is the victor. There she goes. She was marching directly to the banana, Moon says. Yep. I'm sure she will go after the melon eventually. And as you can see, we gave the crocodile friend a little bit of melon. The crocodile's in there to give Pow a little bit of enrichment. So she has to forage for her treats. She doesn't just get them served up to her on a silver platter. And we have Binks with us on the top-down camera as well. Yeah, Binks, that's the top-down camera. How did you get a bit of substrate in your mouth there? She's okay. Well, I hope you all take this time to stand up, stretch. I'm sure you're all shrimped up in your chair. So unshrimp your posture. Dude's just gonna go rescue Pow there. Just got a little bit over substrate in her mouth. Unshrimp your posture, stretch, crack your fingers, crack your toes. Grab a snack of yourself, of course. Grab something to drink. There you go. Oh, now she's finally going for the melon. Oh dear, who's this? Who's this encroaching? He doesn't like not being the star of the show. He also doesn't like this feel of dirt on his beans, apparently. Pow is completely uninterested. GG on Sneef. Yes, we do not let the cats have unsupervised playtime with Pow. We joke that Pow's not in her enclosure to keep her safe from us. She's there to keep us safe from her. Kind of true in the case of the cats. If it came down to a fight between the cats and Pow, she would probably win. So, no unsupervised playtime. And in the meantime, she will just plot our downfall from inside her enclosure. All right. Well, we'll let Pow enjoy her little snack. You'll be able to see her down in the corner. And we've got Binks with us here. Hello, Binks. Binks, can I use my desk, please? Okay, I'm in father time. Aw, it's loving on Kyle time. Toot says they got half a banana for their snack. Imagine that. Yes, Binks keeps turning around and giving Kyle some love. Hi. 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 This is Kyle. Kyle is a furblet. Hi, Binks. Yes, Binks says no desk. Yes, Kyle is quite small. He's a cutie, though. Yeah, he's cute. Kyle is the gamer one, so he says things like pew 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 pew. He's a cutie. They do go to sleep after a minute of being active. So they don't wake up randomly in the middle of the night and talk to you. They're only slightly cursed. He's gonna grow up to be a big fur dog one day. Oh, God, I hope so. If you guys don't follow Evan and Caitlin on YouTube, they are unhinged crafters who make unhinged things, and they made a robot Furby dog. It is the greatest creation of man in science. And I want one. All right, so this is Binks here. And, you know, the more I think about it, the more I think I am going to start a new Mr. Rogers cardigan. And that way, like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just to put the link to the fur dog in the Discord. If you guys aren't a member of the Discord, please feel free to hop on over there. The Discord is where you're going to get all the updates about streams. We have a nice little crafting chat, a little gaming chat, a very healthy animal chat, where you can post pictures of your little demons, including my 9 children. You've seen 3 of them so far. My baby. I swear, I don't see her all day, and then all of a sudden it's father is streaming. I must have all the attentions. Thanks. And I know it sounds like I'm just kind of justifying casting on a new project, but I feel like I'm clearing the decks in a way with the new cross-stitch projects, because all the cross-stitch projects that I've started have been since the middle of March. And I just feel like all of my knit whips are kind of lingering. They're like, I don't know, old energy. Maybe I'm just in that springtime, new beginnings type vibe, but I really want a Mr. Rogers cardigan. That's the thing. So I'm hoping that like want to have the classic Mr. Rogers cardigan is going to kind of push me through. And like I said, I'm not far enough on this one that I feel like I should just keep going on this one. The other thing is we're getting into the warmer months now, and this yarn, it's lovely and soft and warm. Emphasis on the warm. So I think I might try something that's going to be a little bit less warm on my hands. But then that stymies my plans for the rest of stream, because I was going to knit on that, and now I'm not going to. So instead, what I'm going to do I'm going to walk you through my Notion a little bit more, because I'm just having so much fun with my Notion. I love keeping it so updated, especially because Binks is here and she's curled up. So this is now a Notion stream, a crafting Notion stream. So we don't have to change the what is the word I'm looking for? We don't have to change the not project, not game, the game title. Yeah, okay. So the other parts of this crafting spread. So in this project database, I have my active whips, my hibernating whips, and then I also have my queue. So you can see kind of like what I have planned and what I want to do coming up. And you can definitely tell that I've got a vibe. my number one, like, I want to do this one so badly. Uh, and as soon as I finish up one of the ones that I have going on, I make is going to be the dinosaur forest from Owl Forest. I just love it. It's a Quaker style, but it's Quaker with a twist. And I think Quaker with a twist or like primitive with a twist is definitely my preferred style of stuff to stitch. It's not what I design for some reason, but it's what I stitch a lot of. I love this piece. It's so incredibly my vibe. So this is definitely like the next thing that's getting cast on. It is quite large, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And then I have Oh, Moon says it's gorgeous, and honestly, it might go on your list too. Do it. Do it. Owl Forest just has so many great designs. And speaking of Quaker with a twist, this one is much more of a traditional Quaker sampler, but it's a coffee-themed one. And it says, first I drink the coffee, and then I do the things. Yeah, Owl Forest has some great cat ones. The reptile one is also very interesting. I love that one too. I mean, I like reptiles. But this one will be super cute. This one it's only 4 colors. And it's all full stitches. I think it's great. And then these ones are huge and are kind of like unicorns. Just because they're going to be so big, especially this Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. This pattern is gigantic. Like, it looks like this picture makes it look small, but it is so big, and the pattern itself is quite expensive. So I don't know. Yeah, my queue is not very long. I've only got 5 things on it. For cross stitch anyways. That might change. I just started populating this, and then I have this little I Want to Believe poster, and it's like a mini version of the I Want to Believe poster from Mulder's Office. It's only 40 by 60 stitches, so it's like super teeny. So that one might happen soon. So yeah, that's my queue. And then if I were to go to all projects, it has everything. All the details and everything. Like what size it is and what fabric I'm planning on using and that kind of thing. I keep all of those notes in here. I also, why does it keep selecting? I also have what I call the Book of Days. I saw this term somewhere online for like a stitcher's book of days, and I just really like that term. But it's a daily stitching log. So this is basically it's a calendar. And every time I stitch on something, I put in an entry. So like this day I worked on Kyrie and Sora. I did 207 stitches on that. And then I did 300 stitches on my frog and 200 stitches on shop samples, that kind of thing. So the cool thing, I really want to show this off. So every day I put in the stitches that I've done. The project page. So you see this little completion bar? Oops. So I put in the total number of stitches for the whole pattern. And then Notion pulls the data from my calendar, totals it up here, and automatically calculates the percentage I have finished. So I don't have to update how many stitches I've done or the percentage complete I have done, as long as my numbers in this calendar are correct. I was very pleased with that. So I have it in a calendar view, and then I have it in a table view. And the good thing about the table view is that it'll sum up how many stitches you've done for that period. So I could say just like, I just want to know how many stitches I've done on the frog skelly in the month of April. And then I could filter out all the Kyrie and Sora entries and it would just show me the stitches on the frog skelly. So yeah, so if I update this every day, then these get updated automatically, which is just, I think it's really cool. The other parts of this are I have my DMC stash, my fabric stash, and then the pattern libraries. We went a little bit nuts. You know how on Etsy, you can buy an entire shop's inventory? Like they'll have an all shop bundle where you get every pattern in the shop for a set price. We did that with X Cross Stitch Patterns X, which is a really great shop actually. So every pattern from their shop is housed here, and every pattern from other sources is housed here. And then I split out the ones for just Christmas for reasons. But the nice thing about Notion is if I go over here, so these are all my patterns. Let's say I want to do Cozy Little Cottage. It shows me the size, where the pattern came from, how many colors it is. I've got the image there, and then this is the actual pattern PDF. So everything is self-contained. I can just open the PDF directly from this window. And because it syncs across all of my devices, I can pull it up on my tablet to load it up into Pattern Keeper from there, that kind of thing. So that's why I love Notion, using Notion for everything. And then if I really wanted to get fancy with it, I could have my projects. So I could add, actually I already have it here, but I didn't add it. So here's my pattern stash. If I put like this, so this is my Celtic Goddess block. Oh, it's set up to the wrong thing. Anyway, I won't worry about that. But I can actually have this pattern card linked to the pattern in the database, and then I can just follow it through there. My fabric stash, just to keep myself a little bit more organized, because I didn't know what we had, but now I do. And then DMC stash. This is a big boy. This isn't completely updated for me, but it does have, basically this first tab is every DMC color, and then the second tab is just what's in my stash and how many skeins I have of it. But I only got up to like the 300s, so I haven't finished updating that. But that's very handy. And the last thing is my Whipco. That's not where I wanted to go. So yeah, like I said, if you do Whipco, you can also track it here. Just gonna try and, there we go. I have to resize it because it's supposed to be a 5x5 board, but sometimes Notion doesn't like leaving things. So this is my Whipco board. It has every project. It has what month they are supposed to be done. It's got whether I've completed it or not, my goals for that month. And then I've just got some info on the side here that got kind of squished, but the links to the official group and stuff. And then at the very bottom, I keep my shopping list. So these are things I need, my favorite shops, and then links to common resources that I use, which I actually used today. Someone in the cross stitch chat that Nicole is also mentioned needed this calculate number of skeins required link, so it was right here waiting for me. So yes, I definitely think I need to get on expanding my queue a little bit. I've been like weirdly picky about what projects I want to do for a cross stitch. Because like I'll put something on and then I'll immediately be like, no, I don't really want to do it that much, and take it right back off. But there are definitely some that I would absolutely love to get my hands on and to attempt. So what I'm going to do is Toot actually has said that I can show off their Notion. So like I said, this this template is going to be available on the Etsy, and I did set it up using a toot friendly layout. So just give me one sec. I've just got to do some futzing here with my setup so that I can get you guys to see the link. Cole says if you ever end up having more than one whip, you might need the setup. Oh, no problem. I'm so glad I could show. I love Notion. I use Notion for everything. It's a problem, really. Okay, now in theory, if I were to go to this, aha, success. Yes, Toot only ever has one whip at a time, but uses it to organize their queue, which I am about to show you. So let's go back over to, okay, so this is Toot's version. So I created a very complex, large database with lots of subpages, and Toot doesn't use all of them. So just deleted most of them because I keep track of our fabric stash. I keep track of our DMC stash. She doesn't do WhipGo. There's no reason for her to keep track of that stuff. Sorry, a cat just threw up on me. It's fine. We're playing through. This is life in the big city. Okay, so this is Toot's version. So you can see this started from exactly the same template, and Toots made it completely their own. So this is their current project. Has the total number of stitches, the stitches so far, which is pulling from their daily stitching log. So percentage completion, when it started, and then these are the days that they stitched on it. And then this is the project photo so far. And then this is their queue. So daily stitching log, they only set it up yesterday. So this was the first day, and then this is kind of like a backdating of the stitch to make sure the stitch count works out fine. And I include a note about how you have to do that. You have to add a little backdating entry. But oh, Heather, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just going over Toot's Notion database for keeping track of their cross stitch queue. So as you can see, one whip, and then this is the queue. So, and Toot has added a function that will sort it by like place in the queue, whereas I start things by vibes. Toot very much has this is the thing I'm going to work on next, and then I'm going to work on this thing, whereas I'm like, I'm not sure what I might do this, I might do that. So yeah, so she needed that function. I did not. Heather says, hi, popped over from the Cross Stitch Chat Discord. Oh, I'm so glad. Welcome in, welcome in. Yes, I'm dual streaming to Twitch and YouTube. So we've got Nicole over on YouTube from the Cross Stitch Chat, Heather over on Twitch. It's all good. It's all good. But as you can see, Toot's queue is extensive and full of moths, butterflies, Mothman, and wonderful, wonderful quotes. The thing is, Toot works on one whip at a time and is a lot faster than I am, like just in terms of actual physical speed. So they tend to finish stuff at a much more rapid rate than I do. But yeah, but this is really good because I'll access this and like I know that they have the floss in stock for the first 7. Yeah, the first 7 projects on the list, because I know they're the next 7 projects on the list. So the next time, so when I had to do a stitch width order for more floss, I just went in and I'm like, okay, what do I need to kit up for them? And I actually just, this eclipse piece, they're going to start this on Monday for the eclipse because it's an eclipse. Hi, Earls. And that's when you shouldn't buy strange and unusual plants. Hi, Early Gurney. I actually just cut the Ada for this today. It is gigantic. Like, I knew how big it was in terms of inches, but I don't think I really, like, realized how big it was in terms of inches until I actually cut it. Because I tried to cut it on my desk, and I was like, and I immediately realized, oh no, this isn't going to work. This is not going to work. So yeah, so that's another way that you can use this. And then again, shopping list, resources, and they've moved the navigation down here. It does come with a full how to use this template overview, which I wrote with Toot's help. Because basically I wrote this, and then as Toot went through and set up their Notion database, they asked me questions, and every time they asked me a question, I put the answer in here. So very, very handy to have a Notion beginner helping out. So let's just hop back over. We're going to take a lovely look at Early's butt here. Hi, Earls. She's such a good girl. And then I'm going to just switch back over to my own Notion there so I don't accidentally show off something in a window that I'm not supposed to. It's always my fear. What was I saying? I was saying something, and I cannot remember what it is. But yes, I definitely need to beef up my queue. The problem is, if I put something in my queue, I really want to work on it right away, so then it becomes a whip instead of a queued item. Oh no, I was going to show you the fabric for Toot's thing. This is Toot's fabric folded into 8. So imagine this, but like 8 times larger. It's very large. Really said no. No, I cannot show. Hurley's also the one who just threw up on me. Hi, little girl. Okay. Okay, Angie girl. So, thank you guys. I think we're actually going to wrap up the stream there for the day because I was going to do a bit of knitting, but I think I've got a bit more planning to do. So not so much actual knitting and cross stitching today. However, on Monday, we are definitely going to have a lot more. If you are familiar with the streams, you know that I am absolutely in love with a game called Spirit City. It's not so much a game as it is a productivity tool. And it's having its full release on Monday. So we're going to have a Spirit City and cross stitch stream on Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, as always. And I will be showing you guys the productivity tools that Spirit City offers, and we'll be doing some cross stitch at the same time. So until then, what do we have going on in the community? So today is Friday. This has been our Friday night crafty chat. It's been a bit of a shorter one, a bit of an odd one. I just kind of wanted to get myself sorted, get myself straightened out and situated. So I think this weekend I am going to be casting on that Mr. Rogers cardigan, getting some more work done on the Kyrie and Sora piece and the frog piece. I'll show some progress off on Monday. I'm so proud of myself for that one. But the schedule for next week's stream will be going up on Sunday. If you join us on Monday for Spirit City, there's going to be a new channel redeem on Twitch where you can actually have some input on the vibe of the game. And you'll get all of the information on the game during that stream as well. Toot's going to throw up a bunch of links in both chats. If you'd like to join our Discord, you can get more information about when we're going live. We also have a crafting channel. If you ever have any questions about something you're working on, you need help, that's the place to go. Karen, hi. Everybody wave hi to Karen on YouTube. Hopefully I'll see you on Monday as well. There are tons of ways to support the stream. I'm actually going to be doing a shop update announcement this weekend with a little bit more detail, but there are 4 new cross-stitch patterns in the Etsy store as of this morning. And hopefully this Notion template will be going up as well. What else was I trying to say? Next week there will be a Cozy Cast on Wednesday, and then again another stream on Friday. But until then, I'm just going to be hanging out in the Discords, and yeah, it's gonna be a good chill weekend for us. I hope everyone can join us on Monday for Spirit City and some cross stitch. And as Toot says, thank you everyone for joining us. We did have a great evening. I love talking through stuff with you and showing you a little bit of how I stay organized, how I organize my crafts, and how we both handle our respective cues, and show off the different ways that we actually that we all craft. We all have different ways of doing it. We all have different comfort levels. So yeah, I think that was a pretty cool little bit of the stream. I can't think of anything else that I need to say. But this is early. I'm so distracted because my phone alarm's going off, but I can't turn it off without moving the camera, so excuse me guys for a second. Okay, there we go. Sorry for that. Okay, so everyone on Twitch, say goodbye to everyone on YouTube. We are going to say goodbye to YouTube now. Farewell, YouTube. We'll see you on Monday for Crafty Chat and Spirit City. Everybody on YouTube, say goodbye to everybody on Twitch. Goodbye, Twitch. Goodbye, YouTube. All right. So for everyone on YouTube, I will see you in the Discord. I will see you possibly on Twitch. I'll see you maybe on Etsy. And as always, I will see you in my heart. Have a great evening. You too, Nicole. We'll see you next time. Love you guys. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye.